Well, we're just going to get started here in just a few minutes. We're on just a little bit early. We're going to let a few people join us, and then we're going to talk about everything Alaska. Um, can you hear me? Can you see the comments? I have my wife here.
Say hi to Tim.
Hi, Tim.
Tim, here's you.
Okay, Tim, glad to have you. Looking forward to you coming back out here. I think you come back out here for your birthday around June 12th, if I remember right. Give about 2 more minutes, we'll wait, and then we'll start the video. We're going to cut this video down and add it to YouTube and a couple of places to get it out. And so hopefully it'll work for everybody. Something new to try. Get another minute or two and we'll get started here. If you're joining us, we appreciate it very much. And our goal here is to answer some questions you might have on Alaska. Yeah, we look forward to seeing you, Tim. Again, if you're joining us, I see a few more people have come on. We're about to get started. We're going to go over everything that you might have a question about Alaska. I've got some other information we can talk about and tell you what's interesting and what's going on this year. If you have a question, just type it in the comments below, and we'll try to answer those for you. And if I don't know the answers, then we will get somebody to answer them for you. Okay, so 6:01, let's get started. Thank you for joining us here on our first ever The Point Lodge Go Live Facebook. We're going to record this, put this on YouTube and everything for you if you need to go back and see it later. First thing we're going to talk about, obviously the big news. If you're looking at coming to Alaska this year for any reason, obviously you want to know what's going on with COVID. Well, Alaska is open to all the way up. You are welcome to come, and there's really no mask mandate anywhere in Alaska now. Anchorage is over. You can fly in and go just about anywhere you want. If you want to wear a mask, obviously you're welcome to do that, but you're going to find most places nowadays you're going to be able to go freely and get around. And so that should not be an issue. Alaska is really spread out, and you shouldn't have to worry. This is probably the best places to come. If you're worried about COVID, you can come here. We're spread out, and you don't need to. So that's probably the best thing. So I get so many questions when people are talking about coming to Alaska, and then as we own a lodge here in Alaska, people come to me all the time and say, well, we don't know where to get good information. So I'm going to try my best to give you the best information I can about visiting Alaska and some places to go and some people to see that I trust, that I know that if you'll come to Alaska, you're going to have a great time. So let's talk about real quickly, and we may do more videos if we want to go in more depth, or if you have a question about something that I kind of go over, let me know. Obviously, we can go on for hours, and I don't want to do that necessarily. So just want to talk about a few things. So first of all, if you're coming to Alaska, you really have 2 places to fly into, Anchorage or Fairbanks. Most people fly into Anchorage because it's just closer to the Kenai and it's closer to a few areas. However, I'm going to tell you this year, look at Fairbanks. The flights into Fairbanks are a lot less right now than Anchorage in a lot of ways. It's a little further to drive depending on where you're going, but it might save you some money. So we're going to start in Fairbanks just because if you do fly in there, let's talk about the biggest place to see in Fairbanks, and that's the Chena Hot Springs. It's very popular. It is a hot spring. It's warm. It's a big area. They have a place to stay. You can swim in the hot springs, and they have kind of a pool inside as well. From all over the world, and it's probably going to be one of the best ways to see the Chena Hot Springs, the Fairbanks area is one of the best things to see there. So then if you want to go down there, if you're going down from south, you have to think of Alaska as a circle. And think of Alaska as a big circle of roads. Hold on just a second. Am I still on?
Yeah, but you're like kind of cutting out at least
Might.
one.
Sorry, we're having a little issue. Our internet dropped in and out there. So if you look at Alaska, it's a kind of a circle of roads, and then we have the Kenai at the south. So as you head down from Fairbanks, you have two ways. You go east route or the west route. If you go the west route, you're going to go by Denali National Park. I believe it is the #1 visitor it's the hot place to visit. More people go there, I think, than anywhere. It's got the tallest mountain in North America. You see lots of wildlife. It's a great place to go. It's definitely one of those things you want to hit up if you're coming to Alaska. And I'm just kind of going over this quickly. If you have questions, put them in the comments, let me know. Down from there, you're going to get down toward Anchorage. There's Wasilla, Palmer. Wasilla, Palmer is about 45 minutes north of Anchorage. And obviously, Anchorage has everything that you could imagine in town. You're not going to find a lot of things like you would in New York. They have maybe, I'm going to say, a dozen big name things like Starbucks and McDonald's, things you recognize. But you're going to find a lot of their smaller Alaska-owned businesses. And that's great because that's where you want to support. We want you to come and support. Get out of those things you're used to and try something new. South of Anchorage, you have Whittier, which we could talk about in a little while, and then the Kenai. And so those are probably some other places to visit. Kenai is very popular, and there's a lot to do there, and we'll talk about that too. And as you go east, if you were to go east of Anchorage, you're going to find Glen Allen, closer to where we are, and then south of that is Valdez. Valdez, to me, is kind of a diamond in the rough that nobody really knows that much about, but it's a great place to visit, and I'll talk a little bit more about what is there as well. So let's talk about some things that you really want to do. We talked about Chena Hot Springs, talked about Denali National Park. One thing everybody wants to come to Alaska do is they want to fish. So let's talk about the fishing. You're coming to Alaska, you want to find a good place to fish. Well, Alaska has many different options, many different types of fish, and many areas to fish for. So talk about a few. Let's start in the Anchorage area. And I'm going to mention a few names of some companies. And there are hundreds of them, and I don't know them all. I'm not going to pretend to. But I'm going to tell you the people that I've dealt with, the people that I personally met, and the people that I trust, so that when you make a reservation or you contact them, you know, I feel confident that you're going to find somebody that's going to take care of you, and you're going to have a really decent trip when you go out and go fishing. So the first one is we're going to talk about, and I believe we have somebody that's even on with us right now. That's what that is, Drill Team 6. Drill Team 6 has been around quite a while. They are just north of Anchorage, the Wasilla Palmer area. And they do a lot of fishing. They're one of the few people that they fish all year round. So no matter what time of the year you're coming, they're going to be able to take you out fishing. And they fish lots of different lakes, a lot of different fish. So anything from salmon to pike to trout burbot, bunch of different rainbow trout. They're probably going to find you a place. You let them know what you want to do, what time of year it is. They're going to tell you where to catch the best fish. And it's a neat family. This is a family owned. I believe they are a veteran owned company. And I think that if you go with them, I think you're really going to have a great time. And because they fish all year round and they have so many different options for you, if they really, to me, is one of the best in the area. I don't think there's anyone better that I know of that does that. So Drill Team 6, I'm just going to tell you, if you're interested in Drill Team 6, their number is 702-465-4747. And so look them up. And if you have a question about them, I believe they're on here. I believe Sonia's on here. So if you have a question, I'll get her to answer it right here, and you can find out about it. We appreciate her being here. My wife's trying to show me somebody comment, I think, that's 4 miles long. But anyway, we'll go on from that. So I appreciate them being here. Do that. Another one that we want to talk about, one that I like, is Official Charters. Official Charters is out of Homer, and they're one of the largest charters out of the Homer area. They have, I think they are the largest. They have several boats. They go out most of the year, and they have lots of different fish. You're gonna fish for halibut, rockfish, or salmon with them, king salmon, and they are a family. I believe even the father owns it, and the sons work on the boats and are learning to be captains and things. I believe if you go with them, you are going to have a great time as well. There are a lot of other people down there, but they're one of the ones I trust. I really think will give you a good job. They also have lodging. So if you're looking to place to stay and you want to do a fish and lodging kind of all together and bundle it, they're definitely ones I would call and look at doing, because they're one of the best in Homer. And if you don't know about Homer, I'm going to just tell you a little bit about Homer real quick. Homer is on the south side of the Kenai. It's a little further to drive, but you have such neat places there. You have the Salty Dog, is a great little saloon there. That's, I don't want to tell you all the secrets, but it's on the spit that goes out into the Ketchikan Bay there, and there's even the Land's Inn hotel at the end there. But it's a great place to go if you have the time. Homer's a great place to visit, and there's a lot to do there. But definitely look up Official Charters. These people aren't paying me, by the way, to do any of this. I'm just telling you because the people I've met, the people I trust. So I would definitely look up Official Charters. Another one, if you go just north of Homer, between Anchorage and Homer, about halfway, is the Kenai. Kenai River is probably one of the most well-known rivers in the world, and definitely in Alaska. The salmon run up this certain times of the year, mainly in the summer. This river is nice and wide. It's a great place to fish, and you fish in so many different ways, and it's just a great place. The people that I use there is called AK Fishology, Mark Wackler. AK Fishology's been fishing the Kenai for a long time. They actually have lodging that sits on the Kenai River, so you can stay there and overlook the Kenai. And they have boats and everything that take you out there, and you're going to get a bunch of fish. We did this with them last year. It was a really good trip. We caught a lot of fish, and so I would definitely look up AK Fishology. Their number's 907-394-8378. That's a great place to go if you want to fish the Kenai. Go down there, especially in your summer trips, and you're going to find that you're going to have a great time and you're going to catch a lot of fish. So we talked about my 3 biggest fishing charters: AK Fishology on the Kenai, Official Charters out of Homer, and Drill Team 6 out of Anchorage, Lucille area. There's one more that I want to talk about. It's out of our place here. We are located on Lake Louise. It's Chasing Tails Guide Service. Obviously, they're with my place, so I'm a little partial to them. But I'm partial to them not because they're here. I'm partial to them because you're going to find a lot of other guides use them, especially in the winter. They come up here, they spend time with them, and if you want to fish lake trout or burbot in the Lake Louise area, which are some of the biggest trophies in all of Alaska, I mean, you're going to catch huge lake trout and burbot. Chasing Tails Guide Service is definitely, you definitely can't beat them. You're going to find them in the winter as well as the summer. The winter, they love to do ice fishing. He's always out there. Doesn't matter the weather. He will go at any temperature. Way too cold for me. But if it's minus 40, he'll still take you out. So he's a great place to go. If you want to catch huge trophy lake trout, he's the guy to go with. And you can find him if you just go to our website, thepointlodge.com. There's a bunch of information there on him, and he's a great guy. It's Patrick Hankins. So definitely a great guy to look at. So let's see if I've got, let's see what else here. Oh, Sonia with Drill Team 6 just mentioned, I just saw it. She says she's ready, and they've already started running lake charters this year. So come, now's a great time to come. Let's see, Drill Team 6 also has all-inclusive fishing packages as well. So I guess if you want lodging stuff, they can do that for you too. So, and they do ice fishing there all year. So let's see what else to say. One thing about Drill Team 6, she's telling me they also, if you don't have the right gear, they get you set up with all of that. And she's telling me ice shelters and fishing equipment, and their military and first responder got discounts, so you can't beat that. If you're a military or first responder, look up Drill Team 6. Appreciate them being here. Let's see here. My wife is.
First trip.
Oh, so Patrick Hankins with Chasing Tails Guide Service just told me their first trip is June 2nd of this year at Lake Louise. The ice should be gone by then. We're getting really close here. So anytime after June 2nd, I'm sorry, call and you can set up a trip with him as well. So let's talk about a couple of other things, and I'm kind of jumped around a little bit. We've talked about flying into Fairbanks. You might save some money. We've talked about the Chena Hot Springs in Fairbanks, the Denali National Park. We've talked about a couple of people that I trust to go fishing with. One other thing, if you're trying to find some information about fishing, just general, you want to come in, you want to fish yourself, or you want to find out some fishing reports. There's a great place that's opened in Wasilla called Three Rivers Fly and Tackle. AJ Hoffman and Mike Hudson, I believe, own this place. They opened it up, I don't know, it's rather recently, maybe the last couple of years, to my knowledge. But they're giving fishing reports. They're giving away free prizes, but they're really knowledgeable about fishing all over Alaska. So if you just have a question or you need something fishing related, I would tell you to look up Three Rivers Fly and Tackle. They'll at least get you set up and go in the right direction. So kind of wind up the fishing there, and we'll talk about a couple of other, let's see, my wife's passing me some notes here. Oh, hi Dave, nice to have you here. Glad you're watching with us. So, okay, so let's talk about a couple of other things people just ask in general when they get here. People always ask, so I'm coming to Alaska, probably the most asked question I get is, when is the best time to come to Alaska? And this is obviously, this is a hard question to answer because it all depends on what you want to do. My personal favorite is any time between March and April is a great time if you want to do the winter activities. And then June, July, and even into August are your summer activities. Best time for me. And I'll tell you why. March and April, you're going to find that you're going to start, the sun is up about 12 hours a day. There's plenty of snow. The temperatures are warming up. You're not going to have that bitter cold that you hear Alaska has all the time. And it does in certain areas. You have to realize Alaska, though, is huge. And so where you go in Alaska, the temperatures will be very different. And so, but if you come in March and April, you're going to be able to do all those winter activities but you're going to have some sunlight. It's going to be warmer, and I think you'll enjoy them more. You also have a chance, especially if you come in March, to see the Northern Lights. Obviously, something that's it's beautiful. It's just something that you can't explain. You can't show someone in pictures. You have to see it. So I would definitely say March and April for me, for ice fishing, for snowmobiling. We call it snow machining here in Alaska. And just getting around, seeing the beauty of Alaska. March and April are great for the winter. June, July, and August is going to be your high tourist months. That's when most people come. That's where you're going to have the most crowds. But that's when the most things are open. All the restaurants are open. All of the national parks, all the state parks. Denali's open. Everything's open, and that's when the salmon run. So if you're wanting to do the Kenai, if you're wanting to see the big salmon runs, you want to see the bears come down and eat salmon and all that, you got to come in the summer. But you're never going to see the Northern Lights in the summer. It has to be dark. It just doesn't happen. In the summer, daylight, depending on where you are, is 24 hours a day. The further north you get, the more daylight, of course, you have every day. And the further south, you get a little bit of darkness. And when I say dark, I don't know that anywhere it gets dark. Maybe Juneau, farther south, but pretty much here it gets dusk, in the middle of the night. The sun comes right back up, just kind of circles in the sky. So I'm definitely a proponent of those. Now, I'm not telling you those are the only months to come, because October can be good as well. There's good fishing. So there's a lot of other things. Hunting's not going to happen normally in the summer. You're going to do that fall and into early winter in most cases. So depending on if you're coming for hunting and you want to go to Kodiak or something, you're probably going to do that in the fall. So it's hard to tell you what the best time to come is. I'd really look at the activities that you want to do, and then I would decide which type of the month you want to come. So when we talked about the daylight, the darkness, the best month, temperatures, I get asked this a lot. What are the temperatures in Alaska? If you are up and you're talking about going to Utqiagvik on the North Slope, it gets very, very cold. It can be minus 50, minus 70. It can get very cold up there. As you come south and you get closer to the water on the south side of Alaska, Prince William Sound and all that, it gets warmer in most cases. Now we're at Lake Louise. We're south of Fairbanks. We're kind of in a hole here. We get surrounded by mountains on all four sides. It gets cold here. We've hit minus 50, 55 2 years ago. But typically, we have a lot of months, it's minus 40. And that's temperature. If the wind's blowing, it can be much colder. But as you get into March, you're going to start seeing those temperatures get back towards zero and warm up. If you're going to be going in the winter, south, Kenai, you're not going to see those big cold temperatures. You're still going to see zero. You might see minus 10, but you shouldn't see the minus 40s and those, what I would consider really cold. Hard to be in temperatures. I would caution you, if you're coming in the winter, the best thing to do is bring layers. Dress warm. If you don't have the right equipment, and Sonia may know with Drill Team 6, there's actually a place in Anchorage where you can rent gear, and it's rather inexpensive. And I can't think of the name of the place right now, but it's definitely a place to check out because you want to have the right gear if you're gonna come into Alaska and you're gonna do some of these fishings or hunting or whatever you're gonna do. The gear makes the difference. In the summer, it gets much warmer. Most places it's gonna be 70s are not hard to see. 80s not typically in most places, but 60s and 70s is pretty normal. And you'll find that a lot. It feels great, and sometimes I think 70 here feels like 90, down south. The sun just radiates, and it feels good. So we swim in the lakes. There are plenty of lakes up here. We have, water sports, and you swim in the lakes and everything. So just because you're in Alaska doesn't mean, we don't do all the same things you do down south. And So let's see, yeah, Tim Loftus was told me that we have a general store here at Lake Louise, and I'm supposed to announce we have ice cream. Yes, I'm so proud of this. This is one of the big deals in our area. It's nice to have ice cream out here. Thanks, Tim. Let's see, what else? We talked about the temperatures, talked about that. Let's see, a couple other things about traveling to Alaska. And I know I'm jumping around a little bit. I'm sorry about that. This year, rental cars, from what I'm being told, are very hard to get. So if you're going to book your flights and you're going to come, you need to book the rental cars right then. Don't assume you're going to be able to get here and get a rental car automatically. You need to book it at the same time. If the rental cars are not available, look elsewhere. Look at Turo maybe. I've used them in the past. They're a personal rent, rent cars from other private people. I've heard of U-Hauls being used this year. But we do have a couple of smaller rental car agencies that are not in the airport, that are outside, that you might find as well. Like look them up online, and you might find a car there. Don't be, it may be harder this year, but just plan ahead. Cruises, it's a big deal. So we have just been told that cruises are going to start coming back this year. This is big for us. We went an entire year with no cruise ships coming into Alaska, at least cruise ships of any size. But the government just passed a law temporarily banning them having to stop in Canada, so they can actually travel from the lower 48 up here to Alaska. So this is great for you cruisers. I'm one of you. I like to cruise. So you can get on right now. I believe you can start. I just saw you can start booking cruises for later this year to coming up to Alaska. I'm sorry, I got my wife was sending me something. The cruises are a great way to see Alaska. They own their own lodges. They own their own rail cars. Don't be afraid to take a cruise, get off the cruise, and rent a car and go look around. Or get on the train and go see. People, there's so much more to see even than what they're showing you. So don't be afraid to do that. And then fly back. Get a little bit of everything. And I think it'll just make your trip all the better. So I just got told, I'm looking at the comments here. Alaska 4x4 Rentals is a car rental company, and it's an option for you. Sonia just let me know about that. So check them out. And then also, I regress, I told you there was a place you could rent clothing. Sonia let me know. It's called Alaska Outdoor Gear Outfitter and Rentals. They're in Anchorage. It's who Drill Team 6 uses for a lot of their winter customers. They have a good selection of packages for outdoor gear and rental, and the prices, she says, are pretty reasonable. So check them out. Again, I don't get paid to tell you about any of these companies. We're just doing it because we're here in Alaska. These are the people we use, seem to be the people we trust. So if you're here in Alaska and I haven't mentioned you, I'm sorry. I may not have dealt with you yet. I'm being told Renee Ranch, she's in the tourism field up here, and she just told me that most rental car places are completely booked till August 15th. So like I was saying, the rental cars are hard to get right now. Look somewhere of these smaller places, Alaska 4x4 Rentals, or I know there's some others that are located on Seward Drive. They're in Anchorage. So you just have to look them up online and find a car if you can. If not, take a train. There's trains that run all the way from Seward all the way up to Denali. Train's a great way to see Alaska as well. So, but then again, you may have to book those as well. This is getting to be it's going to be a busy year this year. People are wanting to get out. Seems like everybody's been cooped up for a while, and they want to get out. So let's see if there's anything else that I want to hit here. We talked about place. Okay, Okay, I'm gonna go back and talk about a few places. And I mentioned Valdez is a great place. I like it. That's why I'm gonna mention it again. Valdez is, I mentioned that there's kind of a circle road that you drive around. You make an entire loop around most of Alaska. If you're coming back from Fairbanks, you're taking the eastern trip, you're going to go about 2 hours north of the cutoff to Valdez. And I'm going to tell you, go to Valdez. And why I'm going to tell you to go to Valdez is a couple of things. One, you're not going to have the crowds you're going to have somewhere else. So you're going to have a little bit more area to move around. Not that anything's real crowded, but you're going to have a little bit more space. They have a salmon hatchery there. If you're coming in the summer, it's a great place to see the salmon come in. The sea lions and otters and seals, everything kind of comes in there. You can see it all. And then the bears come down to the road, and they're obviously eating the salmon, and you have a really good chance of seeing bears there from your own vehicle. I just had somebody that was here staying with us the other day, and they were telling me they're seeing a lot of bears right now in Valdez. So it's a great place to visit. There's also a bunch of glaciers you can see. There's great fishing. There's helicopter tours to go out. You can land on glaciers, and beautiful views. So I do like Valdez a lot. And you're going to drive over Thompson Pass, which is up through the mountains. It's a great place to go. Another place I'm going to mention, if you're coming to Alaska, look into. It's Hatcher Pass. It's just, I'm going to say it's an hour to the east of Anchorage. And it goes up in the mountains again. And at the top of it has Independence Mine, which I believe is part of a state park. But it's a really neat, you get to tour this mine. You get to see kind of how they mined and how they lived up there. Beautiful views again. There's rivers that go along the side of the road. It's a pretty place. I think you would enjoy it. It costs nothing. And I think I should have not skimmed over this so much. A lot of things in Alaska are free. You don't have to spend a ton of money once you get here. A lot of the state parks are really inexpensive. A lot of viewing of the glaciers and walking and hiking and all that, it's all free. So I don't want to, there's a lot of things you can do for free in Alaska. And that may be a whole nother video. Maybe we talk about everything you can do free. So I would suggest look into Hatcher Pass, Independence Mine, just outside of Anchorage, a great place to go. Then, I don't know if we talked about Whittier. Whittier is about 45 minutes south of Anchorage. It is a really interesting town, and I like it. It's if you have a little extra time and you're in the Anchorage area, please go there. It's kind of its claim to fame. It has the longest tunnel, I believe in North America, 2.5 miles long, and you have to go through this tunnel to get to the town. And then pretty much everybody in this town lives in one building. They don't have a lot of space because of the mountains, but it's on the water. There's fishing, there's great views, there's good food, and it's kind of a really neat place. The tunnel is really neat to go through. So if you're in the Anchorage area, that's a neat place to go. And then we have Seward. Seward is due south of Anchorage. It's on the Kenai. Really popular place to go in the summer. They have glacier cruises out of there that are really popular and maybe one of the best. They have great fishing, great views, and it's a great place to go. I believe it was at one point, it was the start of the Iditarod, which if you're not sure what that is, you should look that up. It's a big part of Alaskan history, and today. It's kind of important to us Alaskans up here. Iditarod means a lot to us, and it's really a neat thing. So I would definitely look into Seward. Homer, we've talked about. Kenai, Independence Mine. So those are the main areas that I think you focus. I'm going to go over them again real quick, just list them to you. The places that I think you should visit when you come to Alaska. Chena Hot Springs is one. Denali National Park. Whittier, Kenai, Homer, Valdez, and Seward. Those are the main areas. But I would really caution you, before you go and pick everywhere you're going to go, look at the distance between them. Alaska's huge. People underestimate the time it takes to get from one place to another. They try to put too much into their trip in too short a days, and don't give yourself time to relax and actually enjoy the beauty and stop and see the wildlife. So look at those places and look at things. Now, I'm going to tell you a couple of things other than that, and I think we'll be done unless you have some more questions. There are some big events that are coming to Alaska, and if you're looking for a time to come, I want to talk about a few of them. And let me get my dates out here just to make sure. Okay, so let's talk about Seward. I told you it's a great place. It's on the south side of Kenai. July 1st through the 4th, they have an Independence Day Carnival. It's a Mount Marathon race, which is a big mountain there. They run up and down. It is a great time to visit Seward. It's a great, we enjoy it very much to go down there. So if you're going to be visiting that time, check out July 1st to the 4th, Seward. So happy to have back this year the Alaska State Fair. Alaska State Fair this year runs August 20th to September 6th. And it's a huge fair, Alaska standards. You're going to see a lot of different Alaska items, things that are actually made by Alaskans, great food, things you're not going to find anywhere in the lower 48. If you're into vegetables and fruits and you want to see what Alaska has to offer, you're not going to be disappointed. There's so much there. And they have bands. And this year, if I looked it up correctly, Billy Idol will be here, Martina McBride, and a bunch more. So that's going to be in Palmer, Alaska, which is 45 minutes or so east of Anchorage. And that is August 20th to September 6th. And let me tell you one other. This is not probably as well known, but I think it's something big for Alaska. And if you are a racing fan and you're looking to come up here and just hang out, there is a former NASCAR driver, Kenny Wallace, is going to be racing some modifieds in Fairbanks. He's going to be here June 25th through the 26th at Mitchell Raceway. And they're going to have a full line of dirt cars and dirt racing. It's a big event for them. They have sprint, late models, modified, sportsmen's, all kinds of cars. So I would definitely, if you're going to be in the Fairbanks area, June 25th, 26th, hey, come out, spend the night. I'm going to be there. Kenny Wallace, if you don't know who he is, look him up. You can't have a bad time when Kenny Wallace is around. And he's going to be there signing autographs and doing a bunch of things. So look at that. And let's see, I think we kind of touched on a little bit of everything. And if you have any more questions, send them to me. We'll try this again, and maybe we'll go more in depth. I think at some point, if this continues to go well, maybe I'll sit down with a couple people and we'll maybe focus on fishing, maybe focus on hunting at some point, and have a video for each. But I hope you enjoyed sitting with us and talking for a few minutes. I hope that you will look up these companies and look at coming to Alaska. There's no better time. And it's a great place. We get people from all over the world because there's no other place like Alaska. You can't find it anywhere. And that's why I'm here, and we love it. So thank you for joining us. We are going to cut this thing down and put it on YouTube. And we appreciate you. Thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.